microphone. Alright, let's get some virtual co-working going. Let's wait for the stream to come online. This is JavaScript work that I'm doing for a feature request. Or actually, it's a modification of a behavior. Let's see if make sure that this is working. Yeah, okay, that's gone. So it's Thursday, March 2nd. I had a request come in to do a change for this project we're working on for some educational research. And I'm kind of on vacation, I guess. Well, not quite. It's sort of semi-vacation. It looks like that's working. I'm going to update this list here. Starting some virtual co-working JavaScript stuff. Should cut fingernails. They're really long. It's hard to type. Doesn't look like up there. Again, it is updating, but it also looks like something has shifted. Why is this black space there? There we go. All right. So what are we doing? I guess I need to pull this thing up. Let's pull up a terminal window and let's move this to the side so it pops over there. Let's get that out of the way. And this JavaScript work is for this multi-client web app that runs on a local network. And you know, this is not, I would say, it's not commercial quality software. It's designed to enable research, but so it just has to get to the point when they can conduct the research and make draw some conclusions about how the kids are behaving in the space. So in that sense, it's interesting because we're really going for coverage of features that are researcher adequate rather than like the most beautiful user interface possible. So I'm just going to run it up over here, and I'm going to start pulling up windows all over the place. So let's see. The feature request is, let me take a look at it. Oops, that's the wrong one. It's pause immediate unloading session. Load a session, have it pause immediately. Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm running let's just confirm what's happening here. Also on my other computer, I should bring my timesheet up so I can charge for it. All right, today is Thursday. Oh, tomorrow's Groundhog Day resolutions review day. I have not looked at it at all. See, 3:2. Time is now. It's 3:23. Let's call this 15:15. It's right on the edge. That'll be fine. Let's implement pause on start. So what does that mean? So we have this thing running, and we also need to have another instance running. This needs to be the teacher app. Simulation is up, and these are communicating with each other. So this would be what day? I guess we can use day 5. See, oh, what was that? I saw a snowman. That was neat. And we need to update the playback control. What is this thing here? So if we're loading something that's playing back, why is this not moving? That needs to pause on immediately. Let's make a recording. start recording. So now it's recording the stuff that's happening over here. On this other machine, I'll start a fake track instance, which is simulates the camera tracking system. And I'll run it on this side. So now these things are moving around and doing things. Stop recording. It should show up again. That's today's. Let's show us up with this. Load. So that's replaying it. There's a log command, but it might not be linked in yet. You can add that. Alright, so this loads and it stops. So we want to have this pause and start. That's basically what we needed to do. Yeah. Let's move this over here. So Ben has just asked me a question whether or not we have. It's interesting. Whether or not we have a log command in. We're logging messages now. In this fancy log format here. So this logging stuff, well, doesn't seem to be very much in here. Playback undefined. Those are issues. Zone is calling with a no roll. That's odd. Don't want to get distracted by other bugs though. So let me just check really quickly though to see if that feature is in here. That would be under Step Unisys, which is our network system. Again, this is a unified messaging system. So each of the web apps running in different browsers think they're all part of the same giant application. Let's see. There is a log. Log line is called by. There's a serve log command. Who sets that? Let me see if I'm already implementing it. It would probably be under step. If anyone is using this. Unisys. Yeah, there already is a log message. Yeah. Try. I don't think it timestamps it though. Or maybe it does. And it will log the UApp, UIP bandwidth, log line. May need some reformatting. What's PR? Log message. Log line socket UApp CIP. Alright, so that's out of the way. What we need to do now is look at this other thing. How to describe it. Close out some of these other files I don't need right now. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. What are we doing? Implementing what are we implementing? Minus blank. Where can I look for this? Oh, pause on start playback. As I recall, let me just look at the where would it be? It would be in Unisys recorder, I think. This is the client-side recorder module. There's some play last session. Basically, it does this with a session selector. It has a path. It calls playback start. So, what does this do? I need to remember how this all works. Playback start. Checks the mode. Creates a play packet with command and session selector. Path is equal to session recording path. And then this is received on the server side by step recorder, I believe. And where step recorder should have a, no wait, is it happening? No, step would be happening at step Unisys, which is the parent of step recorder. Oops. Step Unisys. Unisys recorder. Step Unisys. This receives somewhere here, and I think it's dispatcher. There's a recorder command, yep. Receives recorder command. And API dispatcher. Wow. So we have a record playback start packet, do playback start, do playback start. Where is that? Why does this mouse never work? Control Shift G. What is going on here? There we go. And we pull the selector out of it. Call selector. Call recorder. Open playback. Return packet with acknowledgement. No additional data. So I need to go to the recorder module, which is step unisys recorder, I believe. Or maybe it's just step recorder. It should be part of unisys recorder. Step recorder. And we're looking at open playback. And here's the open playback command. So what does it do? Creates a new rec file reader instance. Calls open session path on it. Now there should be a it's a good thing I'm outlining this because this is a little bit complicated. So the open command here, what does this do? This creates the reader, creates a read stream. Makes the liner, which converts the stream into lines and emits events on that we parse. When it becomes readable, and it's ready to go. But what we wanted to do is pause immediately. Rec file reader open. This creates the read stream and a line buffer stream. On readable, initializes the reader and is ready to go. So this is where all the magic has to happen. It also notifies subscribers. Notify subscribers. This on status. Bunch of stuff here. Event playing, which is a mode, and an events open file. And then it starts going through its coroutine. Uses set immediate to wait a tick to yield the processor, and then calls this process next line, which is the actual main read routine. So if it's paused, so there's a few. How does pausing work? Or what needs to happen when we pause? And there is a pause command, I believe. Yeah, here it is. What it does is set this is paused. It's true. Resume by this is paused equals false, and if there is a current line, and if this current set this trigger ns equals 0, which will reset the routine. So I think what needs to happen, and process, let's next line. Logic here is a little bit convoluted to follow. I'm using zeros times to mean certain things. Make sure that's active. It's only active if there is a start ns time, ns in nanoseconds, and if there's a valid reader instance. And the next trigger time, if it hasn't been set at 0, set to 0. So this will read. This will. If the trigger ns is 0, that's the symbol for it to read the next line. If it's not 0, that's odd. Where is this next? I guess it's only okay. This just processes. Let's try to do something else here. No, I guess it just calls process next line each tick, and then process next line. That's the flusher. So this clause is always valid, basically. If it's 0, if it's running, which is this case, it checks for the trigger, and it checks for paused. Why is the pause check so late, though? So if it's, okay, this only executes if there's a new line to be read, so it'll pass through here, and then it goes to pause. This is the actual line that moves it forward. This is the pause logic. Now what I'm looking for, there are some notify subscribers, the message subscriber, and the status subscriber. And it looks like we want to start this out as paused. To start reader out as paused, we need to start processing the next line. So I guess we want to change this so it's paused. And we want to move this stuff around a bit. So an open file, let's make some more room here. Notify that the file has opened, but we are also starting in paused mode. So now last is equal to this start and s. So we're starting out as pause instead of play. I hope that's the right. Definitions. Rec play. Oops. Where's the status for this? Playing paused. Yep. But to set the pausing, we need to actually do what? We need to set this pause as true. This is paused. Actually, I wonder if it's the paused. This is not notifying. This is not updating the state, I think. Let's move that out. Is pause not updating the status here? It might be a bug. Rec playing. Is there a rec pause being ever sent? Not here. Maybe it's happening up here. Rec. Oops. Okay, it is happening up here. And that's as a result of this open recorder. There's this on status stuff. This is an event subscriber on. An open playback. It's creating those subscribers here. It's going to handle reader status, on which all it does is emit the event that's coming back out. So, alright, so I guess what we want to do since we're not handling this event here, which is a little bit messy. Yeah, you can see some of the flaws I made in structuring this. And it's paused. Make a note to myself. Note the manner in which event notification is done is scattered. This is worthy of refactoring someday. Let's see. So I think what I was contemplating was putting the pause in the actual pause routine, and then moving these events out. But I think I will put it here. Then we call pause. That might do it. Let's reload this and see. So if this works, this UI should update. So if I load, okay, so it load stopped. Resume, I can pause it again, I can resume. Let's just see if it stops. Pause. Resume, and I'm monitoring the output here in this screen. This is all the playback routines. You can see it's replaying that session I caught earlier. And at some point it should stop. Right here, right around here. And the file, everything seems to work. Let's try loading a different one. Line paused. This is a short one, I think. Just for fun, let's actually pull up just a pure display client. This is my debugger for this display mirroring. So I'm amazed it works at all. Return to sim. Let's load this one. That was if I stop. Resumes, that's good. Resume. Turn to sim. It seems to work. Alright, so let's call it done. It took longer just to find out where I should put it. Now, not playing immediately. Get ready to run. So those are the new ones. Now we have, oops, looks like there's more stuff. Let me pull the latest. This probably shouldn't it's probably not touching that. Let's make a new branch. This will be my dev ds paused on replay. Why is that, why is this O thing that's there? That seems new. So it's like a pretty minor change. It just took longer to outline it than to actually do it. Let's see. DS paused at start. Changed behavior of recorder playback to start in paused mode. Alright. That was for 2 lines of code. It's like, it took a long time to just work through that. But the trick is changing the right 2 lines of code. What time is it now? It took, it's 3:55. Let's call it 3:45. It seemed much longer then. That was about half an hour total. I guess that's not so bad. And let's push this. I think I already did that. So now that that's pushed, let's go to the GitHub. Compare and pull request. Is this thing working still? This is let's see, modification. Record playback of recording starts paused. What is, oops, wrong one. This should be in dev February 2017 study. It's more like it. Let me copy the actual Trello request. Request. Response to request. Quarter state. This should work. To test. Go to recording. See that the UI says resume instead of starting right away. Using teacher app. Play right away. Around and make sure nothing else breaks. Sure. Resume works as expected. It should. Okay. Okay. The recording change. Pause and start and change is pushed to pull request. Okay. I guess that was it. Didn't take as long as I thought it would. But what I could also do to dev. Sure. To dev, feb, or feb. Okay, so, okay. That was quick, so I got to self-merge my own pull request, which I always feel kind of doesn't seem right, but they're testing right now in Indiana, so they can pull it and tell us it's working right away. Yep. What was that? Messages. Everything is beeping. Just stop beeping at me. All right. Let's see. I guess that's it for now. I could maybe look at this other change I needed to make, which was to implement review the jump to behavior. Since I've just freshly outlined how the recorder modules work, so this would be the right time to do it. So the next refractoring. Next, this table's too low, that's what it is. On my standing desk. There we go. Let's see. Checking. That looks good. So this next feature is we want to implement the ability to just to go to any place. So now this desk is too high. Where is it? All right, this is going to be. There we go. You don't mind. You don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind. You don't mind. I might as well accept that request as well. Now let's make the next one. This one is recorder random access. And what happens in recorder random access? We want to be able to jump to a certain location. Yes. Recorder random access. It's really bothering me how this subscriber chain is set up. It's a little bit convoluted. Recorder. Needs a go to what do we call it? Let's start out with the recorder mount. We have an open, close, we have a pause, we need to resume, we need a go to. I don't think I implemented that yet. Subscribe, yep, okay. Pause, resume, here will be our go-to. These are all utility functions. Methods. This is the key coroutine. talking about sessions now. It's distracting. All right. What's going on here? So I got looped in on a message thread about related ostensibly about the feature I just implemented, but now they're talking about other features and the whole place is beeping. I am going to pull myself out of this somehow. Okay. How do I drop out of this? It won't let me. How do I leave it? All right, so I escaped it. So we want to jump to, maybe go to a jump to command. So we'll put it here. Jump. Random access for current playing file. I guess we need to emit some sort of synchronized signal too. Jump to, is that a good name? We'll use it for now. So what needs to happen in jump to? Jump to requires an offset in nanoseconds. Are we reporting nanoseconds? The duration is in milliseconds. We'll call this one jump to NS. Offset in nanoseconds. So what needs to happen here? The way the reader works is jump to NS. The way the reader works is it's there's a key line down here, and process next line is this. If now is greater than trigger NS, trigger NS is the time the next trigger goes. So now we need to set a new flag. The incrementer checks value of trigger NS against now, resetting it to 0 when it is time to read the next line. Process next line specifically checks. For this. And so we also have, what's this, mark ns. What's mark ns again? Mark ns, I don't describe it. Current time, mark ns, return to current continuous time. This is my pause friendly version. Current time ns greater than 0. Oh wait, this is, alright, this is time, elapsed time. Mark ns is, I think it's my incrementing thing. It's always set to the current time. I think mark ns was the last time. But I could have sworn I called it now last. Well, here's now last. It's not clear to me. It's used in my current time ns. Oh, okay. Last ns is always the last time. I think that marks when it's paused. There's current. That sends a message. What am I doing here? This trigger ns is the time in the future. I guess mark ns is where we paused. Or it's the playback head. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. Let's rename that so it's not so stupid sounding. So all the instances of this mark ns, we have how many instances? We have 5 matches. We'll call this index, this index ns. That makes more sense. So anyway, going back to our incrementor, when we have our jump to ns, what we want to do is this. If we want to make sure that if there's a reader, if this reader, else if debug out console log pr_u prompt now this, let's see, no file is playing, so it can't jump. And jump to. I spelled that wrong. Thank you, Sublime Linter. So if the reader is a valid reader, we need to check the time against the index. If offset ns is greater than this index ns, or greater than equal, then we can effectively do a jump to. Can do jump to through slipping the streamer. Else, if offset, if type of offset ns is not equal to number, I want to throw an error here. I guess we'll just have it console return console error. Do I use console errors anywhere else in here? That's interesting. PR error, you prompt now this. I'm gonna do something like that. PR error, you prompt now this. Arg must be integer number. Then return. If this reader, so the two cases, if the offset time we want to jump to, if it's greater than the current index, we don't need to reload the file. Otherwise, we need to. Otherwise, we need to reopen the file. Because I don't think we can rewind the buffer. We also need to check the range. Do we know we don't know the duration of the file yet. Here's the file. Have the offset to ensure it's possible. So that would be if offset ns is less than 0. Do something like that. Can't jump to change these to regular quotes. Jump to negative time index. Return. And this is one we can't check. If offset ns is greater than this duration, we don't have that defined yet. Yeah. Can't jump past end of time. I like the offset net, offset ns. We don't have that set. This let's set by opener. This duration let's call it limit ns. So what do they call that? Duration. So limit ns. Note, limit ns has to be set by the instantiator of this reader instance, because we don't know the length of the stream in nanoseconds, so must be pulled from metadata. It's kind of a bad thing. Can't jump past end of time. And so how do we set the streamer? To slip the streamer, we just set the trigger, I think. And so that would be this start ns. Yeah. Oh wait, will that work? I was going to just set the trigger time to the feature, but that would keep the clock itself is still running. So one, update the current time. We actually need to flush all the lines. Set a new index. If index ns is greater than I will set another flag. If jump to ns is not 0, or is that greater than 0? Then enable flushing of lines until time met. This jump to ns is equal to this start ns plus offset ns. Otherwise, we need to reopen the file. So jump to ns is our jump control. This jump to ns is equal to 0. Opener. The limit ns duration is set externally by setting limit ns. Let me comment these two. Start ns, the starting time anchor. The current time in playback. The next time a line should be sent. This is the current line to be sent. Jump to us the time to slip. This is like a fast forward. Fast forward to time. The duration. Set externally. All right. Is that all I need to do? So let me see, the opening of the file. Where is that? How can I even reopen the file? Here? I guess I can. I can force close. Wait, no. I had to write special code for it. Because I don't want to send the same events. Or do I? Or I could check a flag here and send them. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, I'm gonna call this a close. Feeling I actually need to use the restroom, so I need to close this off now. At least I've gotten a good chunk of start on this. It's now almost 4:30, so I'm going to switch to some other stuff after this. Check other messages and get back. I still haven't done the What's Up Dave stream for the day, so maybe I'll do that next. Anyway, that's virtual co-working for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a good week, and I'll see you soon.